Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my warm-up and aim training guide. In my last video, so many of you guys were wondering, how is my aim so good? Well, it comes with a lot of time and effort spent in the game, but also every day grinding the practice range and doing aiming exercises, and we're going to go over all of those in this video, as well as all of my settings, including my crosshair, aim sensitivity, and more. Real quick, if you guys are excited for this video and you enjoy my content, do me a favor, drop a like on this video. Every like really helps support the channel. And of course, do not forget to subscribe and turn noties on if you do enjoy my content. But now, guys, let's go and hop into the video. Alright guys, once you're on Valorant, go to the practice range, click practice top right, shooting test, and enter range. Here you can do so many things, such as master your character's abilities, learn the weapons, and of course, train your aim to be insane. Now once you're in here, you can select whatever character you want. We'll just go with the Jet for now. And then you can press B and you can buy whatever weapon you want. I always buy the Vandal, and I practice with the Vandal because I think it's the best gun in the game. It's one shot headshot at any range, so always use the Vandal in my opinion. Alright guys, once you got your Vandal, press F3. This is going to be the shooting range bot settings. Now I like to do multiple things, but the very first thing I do is I start off with the speed training and flick training. There's an easy, medium, and hard mode. First, I'll show you guys the easy mode. Personally, I don't use this at all, ever. But we'll go ahead and shoot start, and the bots will start spawning, and you have about 3 seconds to flick to them and shoot them. As you guys can see, I can take my time. We won't shoot one this time. You can see 1, 2, 3 seconds. We'll count it. 1, 2, 3. I think it's around 3. But anyways, if you're not a very good aimer or you're just starting out, definitely use the easy mode. But what I like to do when doing these, you shoot them in the head and you immediately go back to the wood. Flick over, go to the middle of the wood. Flick over, go to the middle of the wood. Flick over, go to the middle of the wood. Over and over. So now let's go ahead and go over to the medium mode, which this one is a little bit harder, but not much. Instead of 3 seconds, I believe you get 2 seconds to shoot them. So they're going to spawn right there. Boom, same thing. You like to shoot them, go back to the middle of the wood, and we'll count. 1, 2. I think you have maybe 1.5 or 2 seconds to shoot these guys. But again, it's pretty easy for me, so I don't like to do the medium mode. We're going to turn it off, and we're going to go over to the hard mode. Now, this is where it gets extremely hard, guys. They will start spawning super fast. So we're going to pull our Vandal out. We're going to shoot it. It's going to start. See, look at that. So fast. You're going to flick over, go back to the wood as fast as you can, guys. I got a score of 16, which is pretty decent. I think anything above 20 is really good. This is my first time doing it for the day. So I'll usually do this until I get my score consistently around 20, which will take me about 5 minutes, which is 10 runs. So once you start consistently getting over 20, you're going to want to move your position. And I really like to go over here to this box in the left corner because it's very similar to an in-game scenario. If you're sitting here in the middle and just strafing the entire time, yeah, it's good for your aim, but it's not like a real game. If you go over here, you can strafe back and forth with the box and it'll train you for in-game scenario. Alright, so we'll go ahead and turn it on now and I'll show you guys what a full round of mine should look like. $11, not too bad. I usually try to get around maybe 15 on this one average. It's a lot harder than the one in the middle because obviously it's further range. And then I like to do some rounds with the scope. And again, I'll usually do this until I start averaging around 15 to 10 plus. There we got 11. And again, you just keep doing it until you can average 15 consistently. Now, the third and final thing I do to warm up my aim, I press F3. We're not going to do speed anymore. We're going to go to eliminate 100. We're going to put it on spawn, strafe, and hard, then click done. And you're going to want to move around the map over here, because guess what, guys? Now you're going to train not only left and right, but up and down, which is super important because in a game, you're not just going to be going back and forth left and right. You're going to be going all over the place. So going up here, strafing around, just aiming and shooting them in the head and killing 100 of these guys will really get you ready for in-game scenarios. I also like to go up and down these stairs like this because, again, you're going up and down. It's really bumpy. It's hard to aim. And you're just not used to it. And sometimes these scenarios happen in game. And once you can find yourself aiming really well and controlling your shot and you can recoil, your spray and everything up here, you'll become really good at aiming in game. And a lot of you guys were wondering, how do I do it? This is what I do, guys. I'll come in here and I'll literally just shoot these bots. I'll do it for around 30 minutes before I play a normal game. And then when I'm in game, I'm just super disciplined about aiming for heads only, which you guys can see in my videos. So there it is, guys. This is how I train my aim and warm up every single day. I recommend that you guys do it as well. But now let's go ahead and move on and let's talk about my settings, because a lot of you guys were talking about my crosshair. You're wondering what's my sensitivity, what are my buttons and stuff. So we'll go ahead and go over to general. This is where you can find the mouse sensitivity. I like it at 0.25 and then my scope to multiplier at 1, which means that it's the same as my normal sensitivity. I don't like having them different, so I just keep it at 1. Then moving on to controls, we'll go over my ability controls, which are down here in equipment and controls. You'll see ability 1. Now, with all of my abilities, I like to make sure they're next to buttons my fingers are always on, which my fingers are always on spacebar, WASD. So next to W, I have Q and E. Next to D, I have F. And then next to spacebar, I have V. So it's super easy for me to press any of my abilities at any time. Alright guys, let's move on to my crosshair now. I know a lot of you guys were wondering what's my crosshair settings. Well, here it is. I have my crosshair color set to green. That's just because I like the color green and I've used it in all previous games, so it just makes sense. The next setting is outlines and I have these turned off, so we're just going to skip that and move on to the center dot. Now I really like the center dot. About a week ago when the game first came out, I didn't have it on, and I found myself struggling to hit the head a lot, so I turned it on and I actually can see the dot on the head very, very well, and it allows me to get headshots more. So I turned it on, and again, I like it a lot. Moving on to the opacity for the dot, I have it set to 1. The thickness, I used to have it on 2 as well, but I changed this recently to 4. And again, it seems easier to hit the head and find it with my crosshair. In terms of fade crosshair with firing air, I have that turned off. And then show spectated players crosshairs, I have that one turned on because I just like to see other people's different crosshairs just because it's cool. Moving on now to the inner lines. The inner lines are these right here. You guys can see me change it. I have it set to 9, and then I have the thickness set to 2. And then the offset set to 4. The reason I like this is just because it's what my crosshair looked like in other games. I added the dot extra though to help me hit the head. Now moving on to the last setting, these are the outer lines. These are these little dots that are barely faded in that you guys can see around my crosshair. And this basically helps you with spray control and your recoil. So those are my settings, guys, and that's how I train my aim every single day. If this video helped you at all or you enjoyed it, do me a favor, click that like button and do not forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know what type of content you guys want to see next. I'm trying to upload all the time, so let me know. But that is going to be the end of the video. I love you guys all so much. I'm out of here. Peace.